are decoding your superpowers today.
That's right.
We will be looking at a strengths report from Gallup. It's a 34, the 34 results all together. We don't just look at 5, we look at all 34.
Okay, perfect. So Gallup, CliftonStrengths, which used to be known as StrengthsFinder, maybe you might be familiar with that. They came to the realization that if we focus on the positive about people, about what's right with people, that is so much more effective than trying to focus on what's wrong and trying to improve our weaknesses. And the gentleman who was the spearhead of all that was Don Clifton. And so this assessment shows where in this whole lineup each of the 34 strengths are for you personally. And if you do the math and, complicated math of factors and things like that, the chances of anyone else in the world having the same exact strengths report as you in the same order from 1 to 34 is 1 in 8 billion. So you can see that you are unique to compared to anyone else in the whole world, because there are about 8 billion people in the world. So our goal is to help people see how they are infinitely unique and how that can help you improve in your relationships, in your health, in your finances, everything in your life. So we're going to take one strengths report and talk about how infinitely unique this person is.
Thank you,
I
Linda.
see lots of blue and purple for this person.
Yeah, that was well said. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more. Did
Perfect.
that blow it up a little bit?
Yep, that's great.
So yeah, thank you so much. So we like to look at all 34. By seeing all 34, we get to see certain patterns, and we can put your top 10 strengths in some categories. And we just really enjoy and appreciate and get so much more information by seeing the entire report. So even with that being said,
Scroll it
go ahead,
up a
Linda.
little bit, Teresa. I can't see number 33 and 34.
Okay, is that good?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So we tend to really, really focus on the first 10, the top 10. I like to call that your zone of genius. That's where we want to operate from most of our time. That's where we're the most productive, the most creative, the most energized. We are authentic to ourselves when we operate out of those top 10. The bottom 5, they're not weaknesses. I have never called them weaknesses. That's not the idea behind Gallup, as Linda mentioned. We all have all of these strengths, just some of them are more dominant and stronger and more energizing than other ones. So the ones at the end of the list, they're just the bottom strengths. They're still strengths, but they're not serving us in a way that the top 10 strengths are. So they're not necessarily weaknesses. We just try not to spend too much time down in those bottom 5. And sometimes it's very satisfying and it's a relief not to be concerned about those bottom 5. So we can let go. Like this particular person can let go of worrying about the past. With context at number 32. Like this person just she does not have to look at the past in any way, shape, or form in order to decide about things in the now or in the future. So that could be really relieving for her. Anything else you want to say about the bottom 5, Linda, that you're seeing?
No, that's good. Just that is where it kind of drains us when we spend too long in trying to operate in those areas, or if we if we think that we're down, we can utilize those bottom strengths. We kind of actually utilize the negative part of them or come across as being awkward, and the other people around us feel awkward as well, because it just is like we're just not in our zone of genius, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this particular person does not have to compare herself to anybody else because she has competition really low.
Yeah.
So when she's spending time comparing herself to other people, that's going to be really de-energizing. It's going to be stressful. It's going to cause her to make decisions that are not serving her well. So once she understands that she doesn't need to compare herself to others, then that again could be just like, oh, thank God I can. So she can just stop that because it's not serving her in any way, shape, or form. So let's jump up to the top 10 and anything in the middle between from underneath, we'll say 12 or 13, because 10 kind of bleeds into the next couple strengths, but we're not going to get too picky about that. But anything in the middle realm, those are just neutral. They don't offer us anything. We can use those if we need to, but they're not anything that I ever look at or think about or mention. Because we can do everything from the top 10.
Yeah, I basically have to look at my test results, my assessment results, to know like where some of those fall for me. Like I know my top 10, I know my bottom 5. I probably know like my top 13-ish.
Yeah.
And then the ones there in the middle, I'm like, oh yeah, where is that one? Yeah, that's
yeah, it's
I don't tap into those too often.
Thank you. Everything we need, we can do from our top 10 or 11, 12. But yeah, everything we need, all of these other strengths, we have a substitute for them, either with one strength or a combination of strengths from the top 10.
Yeah.
So once we have that top 10 in front of us, like you said, there's lots of colors there to the left of each strength. And this person has a lot of blue colors. So if you look to the right, blue is labeled relationship builder. So this person actually has, let me look here, 5 relationship building strengths.
5, yeah. Wow.
Then the next color is purple, which is executing. And I believe this person has 5 executing as well. So this person is pretty evenly split between really needing and wanting to connect with the right people. That's very energizing for this person. And getting things done, very productive, go, 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 take action. So she's evenly split. So in this particular scenario, Linda, I'm assuming you do it the exact same way. There's going to be one of those two that she will just lead with maybe slightly. And if that person was in front of me, I would ask her some questions to figure that out. But since she's not here, we just have to basically guess. And we do that by looking at the top 5. And whatever is dominating that top 5, we can guess that that's the one that she leans into first between those two. So it looks like she is slightly more of a relationship builder than she is an executor.
The other thing that I do sometimes, like we mentioned, like sometimes that 11 through 13-ish can have an impact. And so it's not a science, but I do kind of look at if someone is pretty closely tied like this, like I'll look at 11, 12, 13 and say, maybe that has a pretty big impact. So I see 2 of the blue relationship building strengths in 12 and 13. So I think that would kind of confirm that this person is very much a strong relationship builder, connecting with the right people.
That's good. Thank you for that. I like that idea. Yeah. So very dominant relationship builder, being with people, around people, connecting with people is very energizing for this person. And she's almost obsessive about it. She really needs to allow this to happen. She needs to, in my opinion, make this part of her day, if not her every day, every other day, or as many days as possible. Connecting with the right people is
Yeah.
going to make her so much happier.
Mhm.
And it has to be the right people. So she gets to determine
Exactly.
who the right people are.
Yeah. And just looking at her number 6 strength,
Mm-hmm.
later.
Yep.
And we're not going to go maybe really in depth into individual strengths, but relator is someone who has a small circle, that inner circle of close-knit friends who are very well trusted, who it takes a long time for that person to earn a place in that inner circle. So for her, the right people are probably a small inner circle,
Mm-hmm.
not like a huge number of, oh yeah, she's my best friend and she's my best friend and my
Mm-hmm.
best friend, so that might be the just small group of trusted, maybe family or very close friends, childhood friends, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Which doesn't mean she doesn't have other friends. It's
Right,
just that
right.
her very close friends where
Hmm.
she likes to spend her time is very small and very selective.
Hmm.
They have to jump through a lot of hoops to get to that inner circle. But
Right.
once they're there, man, they're there
Yeah.
forever unless they violate the
Right.
rules of that inner circle.
Hmm.
So this person she has positivity high, so she enjoys life. She sees things as, the glass half full or always being poured into. So things are really rosy to her. Um, what else just stands out from you without going through each one, Linda?
um well, so her number 5 is connectedness. So that is someone who again kind of sees a big picture. They may be someone who has a deep spiritual life. They see that God is in control, that people are connected, humanity is connected with kind of a big picture. Usually it's a spiritual kind of connectedness and human connectedness, like we are all part of the human family. So that I see as being, very powerful, and kind of our training and our background and the way that we do our coaching, we put a lot of value in our number 5. We call it our
Mm-hmm.
anchor strength,
Yep.
because if you put your 1 through 10 strengths kind of on a teeter-totter seesaw, and you had to balance out your strengths seesaw by yourself, where would you go? You wouldn't go to one end or the other. You would go to that middle, that fulcrum, and stand there to balance things out, which you're probably not allowed to do on the school playground. That would be dangerous if they even have teeter-totters anymore. So
Yeah.
for this person, if she's kind of feeling out of balance, or um, just hesitating or stressed about something, for her to get back in touch with her connectedness and just spend some time learning more about it, thinking about it, praying about it. That's what's going to help her get rebalanced in
Mm.
whatever difficult situation she's in. So,
Thank
kind of a combination of what that strength is itself, along with a little bit of a big picture of the anchor strength for all of us, is our
Yeah.
number 5.
Thank you. And I'm just going to throw this in as a side note that she does have many energetic strengths. So
Yep.
it's important for her to manage her energy and look to her energy first before she starts things, maybe before she connects with people.
Mhm.
And she has 7 internal strengths. So, yes, it's very, very important that she go within, find
Mm.
that place of centering, find that alone time, that downtime, maybe that prayer time, maybe that meditative time. That is really going to help her and serve her in the best way possible. So thank you for that. This person with the responsibility at number 1, you can count on her to do what she says she's going to do. If she says she's going to meet you for lunch at 11:30 and blah, 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 she's going to be there. She'll do everything in her power to get herself there.
Yeah.
So a person of high responsibility is very dependable. Yeah, very responsible, as the word says, because sometimes not the labels are not totally accurate for the strengths itself. But in this particular case, yes, responsibility is a person who is very responsible, always speaks the truth. You might not want to hear the truth from them, but they're gonna tell it like it is. They're going to be very loyal, which relates into that relator strength. Very loyal to those people in that group. So a high responsibility person is a good person to have in your corner.
Absolutely. Or on your team, or
on
a
your
committee,
team.
church, or
Correct.
something like that, because that they're going to follow through if they say
Yes,
that they're
for
going to
sure.
do something.
For
So
sure.
my husband, I can't remember where his responsibility is. I think number 7 maybe. And oh no, that's mine. His is somewhere in his top 10. And so there's another lady in our church who I think has responsibility at number 1, and he's like, why is she always late?
Mm.
I think he was kind of saying, and why are you always late?
Mm.
Because she and
Mm-hmm.
I both have connectedness high. It'll just, things will happen, things will go with the flow. Things are going to work out. And so it's kind of sometimes your other strengths have an impact on how a particular strength manifests itself in your life. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind.
And
Yes,
you
I
just,
just was checking. This other lady has responsibility at number 1. I have it at 7.
and you knowing that and being able to understand that
Yeah,
about your husband too, like he
right,
expects everybody to have that same strength,
right,
of being on time, because that's the responsible thing to do. But
exactly.
it helps us understand, like, yeah, not everybody has that sitting up high, and
Yeah,
they may have a different strength that allows them to be more fluid and,
right,
being in the
right.
moment, and they are not as responsible as a person of high responsibility is. So this is knowing these strengths has really given me the ability to give other people grace and understand them more,
Mhm.
and understand that they're operating from their own lineup of strengths that I don't get, I don't see, I don't have. And so it just allows me to be more accepting of people.
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing belief there at number
Yeah,
7.
yeah, that's
That's
a powerful one.
Yeah, belief is a powerful strength. It
Mhm.
influences all the other strengths, no matter where it's placed, even if it's a little bit outside of that top 10.
Right.
It's a lot of strength. It's a powerful strength. So it's a big influencer. And this strength is all about core values and
Hmm.
living up to those core values and expecting other people to live up to those core values. That's vitally important, that these core values direct you in everything that you do, and your decisions, and how your life plays out. And it's going to color how this person sees the world and other people and how they're operating.
Hmm.
And this person may see things that violate their core values, and that could trigger them and set them off,
Yeah, definitely.
possibly.
Hmm.
So yeah, belief is a power, and it has nothing to do, like connectedness. It has nothing to do with your religious background. anything like that, but it's just your set of beliefs that you're bringing to the table, that
Mhm.
you bring to a situation, that you bring to your life,
Yeah.
and a set of expectations that you want other people to know about, and they probably don't know about what your
Yeah.
beliefs are. And so it's up to that person of high belief to tell other people and teach other people and convey and communicate to other people what their beliefs are, what their core values are.
Would that be something like a belief is everybody should show up on time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. The
That's a good
shoulds. And
Yeah.
other people with belief that's not high might be down their bottom five, like they just don't get it,
Yeah.
So that's why this understanding of strengths is allowing, again, us to communicate with each other, ask questions, discover how they're thinking, because this is really telling us how people think, how their brain processes. Now, I do want to talk real quick about that executing domain.
Yeah.
Do, get things done, be very productive. So what are you seeing in that lineup that we can talk about around that executing domain?
Well, yeah, we touched on responsibility and belief, which are both
Mhm.
executing
Yep, I see that.
and then also arranger and discipline and consistency. So that is how this person gets things done in their right way,
Mm,
by taking that psychological ownership of something that they said they're going to do, even if they have to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to get it done, which is me. And then a ranger is like being able to put all the pieces and sometimes people and schedules and things like that in the most productive way possible.
Yes, yes.
So being arrangers are really nice to have in your life if you are not one. Then we talked about belief, discipline. People think of discipline as like self-discipline, like a person
Mhm.
with high discipline, it means they go to the gym every single day, and they only eat healthy food. But it's more that they like to have a set routine, a
Mhm.
process. Like on Mondays, they do this. On Tuesdays, they do that. And so they just thrive when there's that set routine.
Yeah, yeah. That
This,
set structure, very
yes, structure.
predictable. Mhm.
Yes, they like that. And someone who has that as a strength in their top 10, it throws them a lot of times when the schedule is deviated from.
Mhm.
That's not, like that's not what you said we were going to do. And then consistency, people, I'll just say what it is. This is treating people fairly across the board, having the
Mhm.
same rules for everybody across the board. So because it's an executing strength, that they look at whether it's a team at work or the family, treating everybody the same is the most efficient way to get things done,
Mhm. Mhm.
because everybody knows what the rules are, and we there's no question everybody's
Mhm.
going to get one lollipop, you know so so
Love
that's
that.
how this person um gets things done their right way. And that
Mhm.
that discipline is a pretty powerful one too.
Yeah, and I want to say about consistency, this is one where the label is a
Mm,
little bit different than what the
yeah,
actual
yeah,
strength characteristics are. So everybody can be consistent. It's just
yeah,
that a person of high consistency, as you said, Linda, is more about being fair and
right,
just, and everybody is treated the same
right,
across the board. So that one's where it's just you can't just look at the label and assume you know what that strength is. No, you got to dig a little bit deeper into that one.
CliftonStrengths actually used to call this strength fairness.
Oh,
I don't know why they changed it.
not
You know,
know
maybe
that.
it had a connotation that they thought wasn't relevant anymore or something. So
Mhm.
yeah, so fairness is I think pretty accurate in describing that strength.
Thank you. Yeah, we didn't even touch upon some of these, but I see we're running out of time.
Yeah,
But
we are. It goes so fast.
it does. So this person in general can be seen as a person who loves to connect, who needs to connect with other people. It's almost vital to their life that they're connecting in some way with people
Mhm.
every day, if possible. This person needs to get things done in a routine, structured, predictable way. I know the predictable is a word that we can attach to some of these strengths. So very predictable, very, this person is going to get things done, but probably with some structure and framework to it. And she operates probably the best within that structure, that framework, that routine. Empathy, we didn't even get to them, but
I
that
know, right? I wonder if there's ever times when her need to connect kind of butts heads with her need to get things done in the right way. You know, because sometimes like you want to connect with people, but it's just easier to do it yourself.
Right, right.
Do it the right way.
As every mom knows.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I could see how sometimes those would kind of be at odds with each other sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, and this person, real quick, is very directed, has those core values, may not deviate in too many ways. So yeah, this is a unique person, as we all are, because we all have this unique lineup of strengths. And it was really valuable and empowering for me to understand that I was the only person in the world that had my lineup of strengths. And I'm sure it was the same for you ladies.
Yeah, absolutely.
That just gave me a lot of more confidence in myself, more belief in myself, and I could see more value than I had ever seen prior to that. So it's a powerful experience to really have somebody help you navigate and teach you about your strengths, because they come so easy and natural and innately to you. You don't really think they're anything special, but they are, and you are. We're all very unique, and it's just so fun. And like I said, empowering to really dig in and learn about your lineup, and then how you can implement and apply and relate that and leverage that knowledge out into your different areas of your life.
Absolutely.
So we want to thank everybody. We so appreciate everybody being here, listening. Thank you, Jane, for being here in person. We appreciate you. And we are going to do this again the rest of the month on Tuesdays, same time, same place. And next week, Jane is going to step in. Her and another strengths coach are going to dive into a strength report that they choose. So look forward to that, same time, same place, and see what their perspective is on a strengths lineup. So a strengths report. So thank you so much, everybody. We so appreciate you. And if you want to have your own strengths dug into and get into a little bit deeper, you're welcome to contact any of us. Send us a screenshot of your report, and we'll get it on here and talk about it as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, my friends. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.